Good morning, everybody, from Charlotte, North Carolina. Today is the day that we head off to Colorado. I am currently finishing up some last minute packing and also getting these guys ready right here. Say hey, girls. There we go, look at them all. Right now they're preening, but I am getting them all ready because I'm going to be gone for 10 days and somebody else is going to come take care of them. So I got to get their food and water reserves all stocked, as well as clean out their coop, which I'm going to do here in just a second when I finish this skit. And then after that, I'm going to finish packing and we're going to get in the car and we got to head to the airport because we have the flight that leaves at 3:05 p.m. for Dallas, which will be a 2-hour layover. Then after that, we will fly into Durango and we will get checked in for the night and we will officially start the great tour of Colorado. So yeah, without further ado, I'm gonna get everything taken care of that I need to get taken care of, and I will catch you guys at the airport. Welcome aboard. Alright, just getting our truck packed up here, and in just a couple minutes we will take off for the airport. See you there. Alright y'all, just arrived at the airport. The next steps are to go through TSA and hop on the plane and fly to Dallas, then hop on another plane and fly to Durango. See you on the plane. Alright y'all, it is time to board the plane. Let's head to our first stop of this plane shuffle, Dallas. Alright y'all, we have just arrived at Dallas Fort Worth, but we have a little bit of a problem with our second flight. It is delayed, but that is because it is arriving late, and thankfully it is not due to any mechanical issues. Now, I'm sorry I couldn't get any of the out of the window filming for the Charlotte to Dallas part, but that was because I didn't have a window seat and somebody was sitting next to me, so that would have not been ideal to be reaching over just to film something. But anyway, we are going to go grab some dinner here in the Dallas airport and wait for our flight, and then hopefully we will hop on and fly to Durango because I'm not trying to spend the night in Dallas. Alright y'all, good news, the delay did not extend any. The plane has arrived and I'm about to start boarding right now. Also, one thing about Dallas airport is the cell service here, it sucks. Like, it absolutely sucks. So definitely connect to the Wi-Fi. And even that too is pretty grainy because it is very overcrowded here. But without further ado, it is time to board this flight and head to Colorado. Time to board. Go. Alright y'all, just made it off of the plane and we are currently walking onto the tarmac. This is actually my first time ever being able to walk onto a tarmac, believe it or not. In all my years of travel, I have never stepped foot onto the actual tarmac of an airport. But here I am. Let's go get our baggage and get the rental car. And it's off to the hotel because right now it feels like past 11:30 Charlotte time, and it is currently 9:30 Colorado time. But yeah, let's go get everything done that we need to get done. Alright, y'all, just got the luggage, and there's one last view of our plane right there. And apparently we have gotten an upgrade on our rental car, a complimentary upgrade, believe it or not. So let's go check it out, and we will be on our way to the hotel, and we will definitely be getting some sleep tonight because it feels a lot later than it actually is, for me at least. Just got the car, time to head to the hotel, which will be a pretty cool place for staying tonight. Alright, good morning everybody. Sorry I couldn't film when I got to the hotel last night. We were doing a lot of stuff. And also, please bear with me today because last night was not the best night sleep-wise for me. And also, it's cold right now, so I need to get inside. But luckily, this place has complimentary breakfast and coffee. So I'm going to go into the main building here at the General Palmer Hotel, which is actually where we're staying. And I'm going to get both of those things because I am both hungry and tired. And I need to fuel up and wake up. So, without further ado, let's go get some breakfast. Alright y'all, just finished up some good breakfast. And also, got 2 cups of coffee down, so I'm definitely feeling a lot more awake than I was when I did my morning skit. But anyway, we're gonna head back to the room. We're gonna plan out some things to do for the day, and we're probably gonna be taking it rather easy today because we are trying to adjust to the altitude, because remember, we are at least 6,500 feet above sea level, and that requires time to adjust. But we're gonna go plan out some easy things to do today as we adjust. Alright y'all, we have decided what we're gonna do, and today we're just gonna take it easy, kind of walk around Durango and see what there is to see. So yeah, let's go exploring. Alright y'all, well, we happen to be in the right place at the right time because right in front of me there is a little market thing that they do every second Saturday of every single month, and we just happen to be at the right place at the right time here on Main Avenue. And we're just kind of walking through, checking everything out, seeing what there is to see. It's a pretty cool place, can't even lie. Now, just in case I see something I want, I do have some money on me to get something, but we're gonna continue walking up here a little ways. We'll see what there is to see. That pepper right there will set you on fire. I can smell the capsaicin just from right here. It's pretty intense. Alright y'all, just finished up walking around over there and also looking in some shops, which of course I could not film in because it would violate policies set forth by companies that own and operate the businesses. But anyway, we are now heading back to our hotel. We're gonna get some things that we need, put some things away that we don't need. Then we're gonna go get some lunch, and we're probably gonna walk around on the river, or we're maybe gonna do, there's a gulch trail nearby that I want to do, but we're gonna see what there is to do that is not strenuous, because as I said earlier, we're still adjusting. But yeah, we'll see what the day brings us. Alright y'all, we are going to go get some lunch at this place called Stoked. It's a nice local restaurant we're gonna go to here in Durango. The reviews are pretty good on it, so we're definitely gonna go and check it out. But anyway, got a little bit, and it's not really that much of a walk. It's only like 2 blocks from the hotel, but we're gonna go get some lunch, and then after that, we are going to go on an easy hike, as mentioned earlier. So yeah, let's do this. Alright y'all, just finished a well-deserved and delicious lunch, and now it's time to go on a hike either at the Horse Gulch, or we're going to there's a lake, it's a loop trail. Can't remember the exact name of it, but there is also something we do have to watch out for, and that is that over there. Looks like we have some storms forming in the mountains, and we got to keep an eye on that. But anyway, we're going to jump in the car here, and we're going to hit an easy trail. Alright y'all, we have just arrived here at the Horse Gulch trailhead, but first we need to put on sunscreen because the UV out here right now is at least a 10, which is pretty high. And if we don't put on sunscreen, that means sunburns. So we're going to do that, and we are going to jump on the trail. Alright y'all, we have our route planned out. Hopefully everything goes to plan here. But just entering this place, look at this. Look at that. This big gulch that we're in right here. It's crazy. Now, the watershed over there, just where those trees are right there, is completely bone dry. There's not a drop of water in that creek right now. In part because of the drought that has been ongoing out here for too long now. But anyway, we're gonna enjoy this hike and see what there is to see. Alright y'all, even though we're not that far into the trail, there's no such good time than now to initiate a walking water break, because it is really hot out here, and it's also really dry. And I forgot to mention, the first day whenever you go from a low elevation climate that's really humid like Charlotte to an environment like Durango where it's hot and dry in the summer, the single most important thing to do is to keep up with your water. Even if you don't feel thirsty, drink as much, preferably even more than normal, that you do in a normal day, because the biggest threat out here is dehydration. I'm going to take one more swig. Yeah, gotta keep hydrated. GoPro, stop recording. Check out that view behind me. Look at that. Just somewhere out here in the middle of the Colorado wilderness. I'm just kidding. We're out here on the Horse Gulch trail. But cool view. Very, very cool view. Check that out behind me. Look at that. Ain't that gorgeous? Spin you guys around one more time so you can see. Please excuse the wind if it's messing with the audio. Man, that's just beautiful. But anyway, I don't think we're going down that way, but we're going to a spot where we can see downtown Durango, and I'm going to be able to get a way more cooler selfie stick photo. Anyway, we got to start heading back down the trail the way we came, so we can get to that spot. All right, change of plans. We're actually gonna head a little bit farther up the trail, not down, because we've discovered that there is a spot up here where we can go gradually uphill, and then we can take another little side trail and take it all the way back, and we won't have to go up a steep incline, because remember, we still are trying to get acclimatized to this elevation, and also the fact that the air is much more thinner and drier than it is where I am from. So yeah, let's do this. Okay, change of plans. We just heard thunder. Time to head back at once. All right, y'all. Well, we've definitely heard a good bit more thunder. Although it wasn't as close as the first strike we heard, which did sound pretty close, but either way, I live by the rule in hiking: if you can hear thunder, it's close enough and it's time to turn around. That is one of the golden rules about hiking. If you can hear it, it is better safe than sorry to turn around, because you never know what can happen. Even if it's going off to the side, you never know how a thunderstorm is going to behave. I'll kind of show you the cell here that's coming our way. Let's see. That's kind of generally where it is. It's mostly behind the trees right now, but wherever it is, it looks like it is close enough. And it definitely warrants an exit of the trail early.
Get to the car.
Oh yeah.
6.4 miles.
Oh, 6.4 miles away. That means we are definitely in the danger zone.
Yeah.
Usually when lightning is within 10 miles, that's when it's time to seek shelter. And
Below us.
we're definitely in that danger zone, so it's time to hustle on back to the car before it really starts to storm. All right, y'all. Even though we got stormed out halfway through the hike, it was still a good hike to get us kind of acclimated to the environment, because tomorrow we have a ranger guided hike in Mesa Verde. We're gonna go to the Cliff House. I think that's what it's called, the Cliff House. But it's a ranger guided tour, and the rangers are gonna take us into the ruins of the Mesa Verde, or at least one of the sections of ruins. Alright, y'all, we have just pulled off the side of the road away from the thunderstorms after a short drive to this little hot spring feature right here. It looks like, I think this is the Pinkerton Hot Springs. See how hot the water is. Yeah, it's a little warm, but it's not hot like you'd expect at a hot spring. Let's test it over here.
No.
Yeah, it's actually a little warm right here. But again, it's not like a hot spring.
Yeah, getting in the pool sort of.
But yeah. Pretty cool. Alright, y'all. Just made it on top of the hot spring. And it's actually not that much of a hot spring. It's really just lukewarm water right by the side of the highway. And it is pretty loud as cars drive by. So yeah, I don't really think we're gonna be spending much more time here, but if I can, I'm gonna see what's down here real quick. Then after that, we're gonna get going. Okay, I've got to watch my footing on the way down here because it is very slick. But this is what it's like down here. Just this little area of barren nothingness. And there's the feature right behind me. You can see my brother on the top getting this photo. But this is what it's like. Just a little geothermal feature, or if you can even call it that, out here in the middle of Colorado on the side of the highway. Pretty neat. Now I'm gonna get some pictures of the surrounding mountains and also of the geothermal feature before we hit the road for the next spot. Alright, so we decided we were going to do take 2 at the Horse Gulch trail, except this time we know where we're going and we won't go farther than we need to go when we do start the hike for the second time today. So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump on the trail once again. Alright y'all, just jumped back on the trail here, and there's actually a little spot that we're gonna go to where a side trail, it looks like, intersects the main trail, but that is actually the trail we need to take to go see the overlook that will include all downtown Durango and make for a really good selfie stick panoramic skit. But anyway, let's go hiking. Alright, here is the spot I was talking about. Now, according to the map that was presented to us when we first arrived, may have switchback or 2 or maybe 3 before we get to the zipline trail, which will take us to the main overlook to see Durango. But first, there's a little cool structure, I think it's to hold back those rocks. But anyway, got a little bit of an incline here. Nothing too terrible, but we'll survive it. If anything, we're probably almost 1/2 of the way acclimated to the Colorado, like southeastern Colorado highlands. But yeah, look at this. Look at that. It's all weird looking how they just drilled into this. But yeah, time for a little bit of uphill. Alright y'all, just made it up top of that little area of loose rocks. Let me tell you, it definitely is some pretty loose rocks over there, because I almost tripped and fell at least once trying to get up there. But it looks like we are just about at the overlook, or what is supposed to be the overlook. Let's see here. Look at that. All those views, look at that. Just amazing. Definitely a good Instagram photo shot right here. I'd definitely say so, but let's go find that overlook and check it out first before any photos get taken. Alright, I believe I have found the overlook. You can see most of Durango, although you can't really see the part that's below those trees over there, but this is, I'd say this is probably good enough right here. Definitely time for a panoramic shot on my phone. See the deer way out there? There it is, just cruising about. But man, this is beautiful. If this were blue sky right here and not all cloudy, this would be exceptionally beautiful right now. I mean, I'm telling you, it would be amazing. But blue sky or not, it is still arguably pretty amazing with the mountains. Alright y'all, well, turns out there is actually another potential viewpoint. So we're currently here. We want to go up here. There's a good amount of switchbacks, but we want to get up to Half Ridge right here, and we could get a higher up and more broader view of downtown Durango. I think it will be perfectly worth it to do just that. So without further ado, let's get to the move on. Here we go. Okay, we're kind of breaking the rules here a little bit with the switchbacks, but we're kind of cutting through here. And it doesn't look like we're the first people, because you can see there is clearly a nice little desire path that has sprung up right here. Oh. And you know what that means. We got to take the desire path. It saves us time and energy, and even though it breaks the rules, it helps us out. Look at that view right behind me. Isn't that just amazing? But anyway, I can definitely feel the elevation right now. We are, last time I checked, we were 6839 feet, which is just about 200 feet higher than Mount Mitchell back in North Carolina, to give you some perspective. So yeah, we're pretty high up, and we're going even higher. Still breaking the rules, but at least it's not a national park. All right, just stopped here for a quick water break, and it's time to check our elevation. Let's see, 6,970 feet according to the compass app. And let me tell you, I am really feeling it. I can definitely feel the altitude. With every breath I take, it is thinner and drier than the last as we ascend. But yeah, I think we can handle it. All right, y'all, we have just made it topside, and here it is, the moment y'all been waiting for.
Oh wow.
Here it is, right there. That is just beautiful. Man, those views, you just can't beat them. But anyway, we have finished up here, and I think there is a little bit more we're going to explore, because even though my mind currently tells me it is 7:28 p.m., which would be Charlotte time right now, currently in Durango it is 5:28 p.m. because remember, we went back 2 time zones, and my mind is still trying to adjust to the correct time, but give it another day and it'll all be good. But we're gonna look around a little bit more and see what there is, and yeah, just enjoy the zen of nature. All right, well, it looks like we will be exploring on the way back down, but first I must navigate this. All this right here is loose footing, and as a result I need to be extra careful, because I don't want to trip and fall out here and get hurt, especially this early in the trip, because that would then ruin the rest of the series, and yeah, it wouldn't be good. So I'm gonna make my way down and I'll show you guys what there is to see. All right, just made it out of the loose rocks, and we are making our way back down. But at least this time, we're not going back down the same way we came up. So we're getting treated to a little bit different of a view than what we were treated to on the way up. Spinning guys around here. Now, if it weren't for all the trees in the way, we'd be able to see a little bit more, but either way, it is nice to have a change of scenery on the way down from the way up. There's where we tried to go earlier. There's that trail way down there.
Oh yeah, I'm glad that we chose this one. This was nice.
I believe all those lines over there might be additional bike trails. However, I'm not entirely sure. And one thing I'm not going to go do is go up there and find out if they are or not, because we're going to have to make our way back down here shortly, because we still have to go eat dinner, even though I had a pretty hefty lunch earlier at that other restaurant. It has since worn off and I'm starting to get hungry again, so it's time to go find some dinner so that we don't starve. More loose rocks. Now the way to do it when you go down loose rocks is to go like this. Or you angle your feet so that way if you start to slip, you can catch yourself more easily. You do this all the way down until it's stable, and then you can continue walking as normal and do it safely. So yeah, that is what you do when you approach slick rocks or unstable ground. Check out that view with the sun rays cutting through the clouds. Pretty cool looking. But I can definitely breathe easier down here because I'm not up at 7,000 foot elevation anymore trying to get the perfect cinematic shot of downtown Durango from up high. But either way, it was definitely worth all the hiking. And also, this time we managed to complete the trip successfully without getting stormed out like we did the first time. But yeah, either way, it was still a really cool experience. And that looks like a truck or something up there. I don't know exactly what that is, but see it right there? I don't know what it is exactly, but it looks like some sort of rusted up vehicle of some kind. I don't know exactly what kind of vehicle it is. I just know it is a vehicle, but still pretty cool to see. But it's definitely time to head back to the hotel and get changed out of these clothes, because I can tell you right now I'm pretty drenched in sweat from a day's worth of hiking, because it got pretty hot today in Durango and the surrounding area. So it's definitely time to put on a fresh pair and take a shower before we go out to dinner, because I don't want to be smelly and sweaty. And it looks like we are just rounding the corner here, and there's where we started right there. And I will now complete the loop right here. So yeah, the loop is now complete. Let's head back to the hotel, get ready for dinner, because I'm hungry. Alright y'all, just made it back down to the parking lot once again, and tonight we are going to a local place called Steamers for dinner. I think I'm getting the name correctly. But anyway, I think we're gonna vote against showers before going out, because it is Saturday night currently, or is about to be Saturday night. It's currently Saturday evening, but if we go to a place now, because it's currently 6 o'clock on the dot, I think we'll have an easier time getting in before the true golden hour starts, which usually ramps up around 7 to 7:30, and then places really start to become hard to get into. But since I've never been to the city before, it's always best to try and get places as early as you possibly can. It's not like Charlotte, where I know places will fill up at certain times. But yeah, without further ado, let's go grab some dinner, because I'm hungry. Alright, y'all, we just arrived back into town, and
right here, but
there is a wait at the place that we want to go to. Excuse me. And I actually got the name of the place wrong back at the parking lot at Horse Gulch. It's not called Steamers, it's called Steamworks Brewing Company. So yeah, we're gonna wait. We're probably gonna wait out, and the good thing is, during this wait time, we don't just have to sit here and remain stationary. We can walk around the town and go look at some shops and do whatever and just kill some time while we wait. And then once it gets to be about 5, maybe 10 minutes before our table is supposed to open up, we can start making our way back over here, and it works out perfectly. But anyway, let's go look around some and wait for our table to open up. Alright, y'all, table is now ready. Time for me to go eat some dinner. Alright, just finished up dinner at Steamworks. I got a really good chicken dish there. I would highly recommend getting it if you ever come here to Durango and happen to visit Steamworks for a dinner or something like that. Would highly recommend that chicken dish. It is so good. But anyway, we have to head to Walmart to get some supplies, because tomorrow, remember, is the big day. We are going to Mesa Verde, and we need to make sure that we have enough supplies, including snacks and water. Most important, water, so that we don't dehydrate out in the desert, because Mesa Verde is very much so a very arid environment. So yeah, time to head to Walmart. Alright, y'all, we have arrived at Walmart. Time for a supply run. Alright, y'all, we just picked up some supplies from Walmart, and we are ready for Mesa Verde. Oh goodness, excuse the car alarm. But anyway, after this, we are going to go back to our hotel, and I can tell you right now, I am tanked. That's the only word I can say. Even though I don't sound tanked on camera, mentally and physically, I am tanked. So it is definitely time for me to go back to the hotel and get some sleep. But anyway, without further ado, we're going to pack up the car, and I will see you guys in the morning. Alright, good morning, everybody. I tell you what, last night was a way better night for sleeping. I didn't toss and turn. In fact, I went to sleep and I don't even think I moved at all through the night. So yeah, that shows you just how much of an impact this had on me last night with the extreme tiredness. But anyway, I need to go in and get some breakfast, because we've got a guided tour today at Mesa Verde, so we need to get the move on. And also, if you're wondering why my voice is a little bit hoarse this morning, it's because of this nagging Colorado cough. I'm not sick, but I do have a little bit of a cough from most likely altitude. But anyway, time for breakfast. Alright, y'all, breakfast is done. Next step is to drive to the park. Now, not only do we have to drive into the park, which takes about an hour, we have an additional hour's worth of driving because we still have to get from the park entrance to the point where we start a ranger guided tour. So if we're gonna make it on time, which it starts at, let's see, it is currently 7:34 Durango time right now, and this tour starts at 10, so I think we'll have about a 30-minute buffer, so we'll be good. We are in plenty of time, but just because we have plenty of time, we don't want to waste it, because you never know, there may be traffic on the way there. So without further ado, let's hit the road and let's go to Mesa Verde. Alright y'all, we have just arrived here at Mesa Verde. Now excuse me for being a little hoarse, but it's because we're really high up here, and right now I think we're at like 7850 elevation. I think that's correct. Yeah. But check out these views. These are insane. Look at that. There's just nothing quite like it. I gotta get some pictures. Alright y'all, check out these views. Look at that. It's just amazing. Now, how am I still getting text messages out here and I don't have... Well, we've actually got 2 bars of cell service, surprisingly, but man. Also, please do excuse my voice. It is completely altitude related. I am not sick in any way. I've had this nagging altitude cough pretty much ever since I got to Colorado, so yeah, it's been, it kind of comes and goes, but big thing, hydration. Oh, look at that, there's a snake. Look at that right there. I would have walked right into him. Let me get a picture of him real quick. Definitely a good thing I didn't walk right into that guy. That's why you always got to keep your eyes up out here. Yeah, there he is. Try and maintain distance from the wildlife, especially snakes, because you never know if they're venomous out here. So yeah. But anyway, we're going to jump back in the car and we're going to head closer to the point where we're going to start our tour. And we're probably going to see some more viewpoints because we are definitely a little bit early. Well, we just arrived, but first things first, sunscreen and water. There's the rules right there. And you got to follow them out here because this is a sacred place and they are really, really strict about it. But anyway, time to wait for our tour. Alright y'all, we just arrived at our point and check this out. There's the ruins right there.
And maybe at that.
Look at that canyon.
Fork where we went left or something. You probably.
My God, that is a huge drop off.
It is. I mean, that's wild.
That's probably at least 800 to 1,000 feet down, if I had to guess. Pretty easily.
That's wild.
There's one more view of the ruins we're going to be going into in just a couple minutes here. Man, look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? There's some more ruins way over there, just across the canyon. My God, this is so beautiful.
Thank you.
You know, it's cool. There's pottery that we find that has specific acid erosion and salts that only come from human waste.
That makes sense.
Alright y'all, we just finished up and it was a little bit of a climb to get out of there because we did have to go on some ladders, but thankfully it wasn't like the Beehive Trail in Acadia, which is straight up and you're completely exposed. And I'm just now realizing I am really hoarse. Like, if you've listened to my past video on the Utah series and you hear my voice then versus my voice today, I do not sound anything like it because of how hoarse I am. But anyway, without further ado, I think next we're gonna go check out some more overlooks, and then after that we're gonna go to the Four Corners Monument. I'm going to check off another state, New Mexico, off my list. And we'll get to temporarily step into 4 states at once. But for the sake of the series, we're gonna keep most, if not all, of the filming after Four Corners strictly in Colorado, because it's the Colorado series. But anyway, without further ado, let's go hop in the car and let's go look at some overlooks. Alright, y'all. This is the Hemingway house. Now, I'm not sure if you can really see it, but way over there where I'm pointing roughly, in that area, you can just barely make it out on the camera. That is it, way over there. I mean, look at these views over here. There's back where we came from.
I know it's not that far down compared to some stuff we've seen, but
And there's the
like,
river. Again, it is
live
bone
there
dry.
and be like, all right, kids, go play in the front yard.
Pretty crazy.
Better yet, don't play in the front
Actually,
yard.
pretty
Go play
cool
in the
place. Alright, y'all, here's a cool little archaeological site. Let's see what this is. This is what's called a pit house. I'm kind of walk you guys around here.
Okay. Wow, this was constructed in 595 CE. And you can see it burned, but you can still see the remnants of the original wood.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Alright, y'all. Just pulled off the side of the road up here at Square Tower House Overlook. Now it's a little, there is a walk to get to the overlook, but thankfully it's paved. So, should be good here, but man, it is so dry out here and so hot. It's probably not helping with my voice, to be honest. I can tell you, filming and talking to the camera is definitely not helping, but you know, it really is what it is. There's nothing really much I can do about it now at this point. But anyway, let's go see what there is to see.
There's the beams all
Check that out right behind me.
That Kevin's roof survived a little bit. That's pretty neat.
Look at that. Views are just amazing. Now right over here is where the actual feature is. There's the ruins right there.
Start walking back.
Okay.
You have to be careful here. Look at that. Now there is a trail leading down to it, to go up to it,
Yeah, I think,
but it is far too hot for us to be hiking out here.
Maybe it's just for going.
And also, it is way too dry.
See it on top of the cliff, there's this, like,
And it would probably take a couple
Yeah.
hours, so we're gonna skip on that, but we can always come here to the overlook and check it out from above. Here we are at Sunview Overlook, or Sunview Point. Ruins right there. Some right there. More ruins right there. There's where we were earlier. And there's some over there. And here, I can do this.
just hanging out, seeing all the things. We met some friends who live in Arizona.
It's a pretty decent drop.
That must be the
There's a little bit better view of the one right over there.
that's the window house.
And one more time, there's the one that we came from, right over there. Pretty neat. Now, next place I want to go to is over there, because we haven't been that way yet. I'm curious what that is. But let's go check it out. Alright, here's a closer look at the ruins I was pointing out the previous overlook. You can see it kind of runs all along here and goes way back over there and all throughout there. And it's almost like there's a neighborhood just built into the side of this cliff. It's pretty cool to think about. But yeah. Let's see. Ooh. It's just afternoon, so we need to, if we're gonna go to Four Corners, we need to probably get some lunch first. But we're gonna finish up here and then, yeah. Alright y'all, here is the spot that I was talking about that I was really wanting to go see. Now I think I know what the culprit is behind what is making me so hoarse and raspy, which I am not normally in all my other trips I've done. It's probably the ponderosa pine. That's probably what it is. It's probably some sort of pollen that's out here, something I'm not used to back where I'm from in Charlotte. It's just starting to really get to me, but I really think that's what it is. And I just happen to be in the wrong place at the wrong time. But please do bear with me here. I'm still trying though. But anyway, let's see what there is to see. There's a view inside right there. And then there's another one. Now I don't think you're able to walk in this one because remember it is a historic site, but it is still beautiful. And here's a really good view of the spot where we went to earlier. Kind of show you guys over here.
It's huge.
It is.
Compared to
There it
the other
is,
ones,
right
you're
there.
like, wow, it's really big.
Yeah, it didn't feel that big when you were down in it.
That's where we were. Came down right there,
I mean, I will say this, while it wasn't
and then we climbed up right there.
It would have been excellent for anybody trying to come up the canyon,
Pretty cool.
because you'd have other people that come up.
That's probably the best view of it right there.
Pretty good view of it. You're close.
You can see the whole thing.
Yeah, you can see all of it.
Alright y'all, I think we have seen what there is to see now, so it's time to go to a place within the park and get some lunch and also drink some ice cold water. Hopefully that will help with my voice because I am pretty hoarse right now. So yeah, let's go eat some lunch. Okay, actually quick change of plans. We are going to go check out the museum really quickly before we go and eat lunch. So yeah, let's go check it out. Can't forget to include one more viewpoint before lunch.
Just like everywhere. Look. It's just right there, isn't it?
Alright y'all, we just finished up over there at the museum. And now it is time to make our way over to the restaurant. And provided that it is currently open, we will go in and we will have a meal. And then after that, we're probably going to leave the park and we're going to go to Four Corners. Although there is another section of the park that I could film, I really can't do it because it would require an extra day. And we really only have one day here because tomorrow we're going to We're going to this town called Ure tomorrow. So, can't really fit it into our schedule. But anyway, let's go over here and eat a lunch at Spruce Tree Terrace. Alright, y'all. Just finished up lunch. And I think I have found the solution to curing the hoarseness. And that is a fizzy drink. It seems to be working like a champ right now. Because I am not nearly as hoarse as I was when I was entering the restaurant. And I also sound a lot better too. But just because I sound good now doesn't necessarily mean that in 30 minutes I'll be back to hoarse like I was earlier. So I made sure to top off on the drink, and I think for future meals I will probably be getting this until I get used to this pollen out here, because I have to say it is pretty bad. But anyway, let's get in the car and head to Four Corners. Check those views out. Let's see for miles up here. So before we leave the park, we are going to stop by the gift shop and we're going to get some merchandise here. I really want to get a Mesa Verde hat because number one, I forgot my Capitol Reef hat at the hotel this morning, and number two, I want to have a souvenir of this place. So yeah, that is why we're here. But anyway, we're gonna head in and we are going to get some merchandise. Alright y'all, we just finished up and got my hat. Now I have a proper souvenir of Mesa Verde, and now it is time to make the drive over to Four Corners. Alright y'all, well, we can't leave without visiting the highest point in the entire park first. Please do excuse the wind, it is quite windy up here. But currently we are 8,572 feet above sea level. And the actual highest part of this little overlook is back up there where that fire tower is. That's where I'm going to be going in a minute. But just check out those views around me. Isn't that just gorgeous? I'm so glad I made the stop before we go to Four Corners. Yeah, this is amazing. I gotta get some pictures. Here is the other side of this little viewpoint area over here. And I hate to break it to y'all, but as y'all can tell, the hoarseness is back. And it's because I didn't bring my drink up here with me, which I probably should have, but I didn't. So, yeah. It's not as big as a drop.
Okay.
The other side was more of a drop than that side over there. But it still is pretty beautiful over here. I mean, just check this out. This is just breathtaking. I gotta get some pictures of this. Back downhill we go. Alright y'all, we did it. This line right here, New Mexico, Colorado. And just right up here is the point where 4 states intersect. Let's go check it out.
Alright,
Right
other
there.
people are waiting, so
This is where 4 states
they were
intersect.
gonna get a picture of us for you.
Pretty cool. I will now proceed to walk into all 4 states in a circle. And there it is. Time to head back to where it is a little bit more moist, but still pretty dry. Alright, time to jump back in the car and head back to Durango. Alright y'all, we just made it back into town. And I have had a little bit of time to rest my voice, but as you can tell, Still not 100%, so I'm going to be taking it as easy as I can. But anyway, we were thinking Mexican food for dinner tonight. And it's actually perfect timing because it's almost 6:30, so we need to get the moving if we're going to go get some dinner before 7. So without further ado, let's go do that. Alright, y'all. Time to eat dinner. Alright, y'all. Just got back from dinner. And it's time to go back into the hotel and get ready for the night. Now, tonight is going to be our very last night here at the General Palmer. Tomorrow we're going to pack up the car and we're going to be heading to the town of Ouray. Now, if you've enjoyed the series thus far and want to see more content like this, consider subscribing to the channel because it really does help us out. Now, the series is not over yet. We still have more of the series to film, and in fact, more of the series is going to be published as the weeks go on in August. But anyway, without further ado, I need to go back into the hotel and get a shower in because, as you can tell right now, I am still very hoarse and I need to get some steam into my lungs to help clear up all this crud that the ponderosa pine has given me out here. And I've learned that ponderosa pines in August have given me really bad allergies. That's one thing that I have learned thus far on the trip. But without further ado, I'm going to go back into the hotel and get ready for the night, and I will see you guys in the morning.